Laker fam, we just crossed 15,000 subscribers here on Lakers Report. I am so thankful for that. Thank you guys so much. So happy that you are liking all of the videos, and we've got an awesome one for you today. But before we get into that, I want to make sure that you guys click that subscribe button if you are watching and have not yet subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure your bell notifications is on. The season is back underway, and there is so much to talk about regarding our purple and gold. And I want to make sure that you do not miss a single second of it. But without further ado, stay tuned because we've got an awesome show for you guys coming on right now. What's up, Laker fam? Welcome to Lakers Report by Chat Sports, all things Lakers. I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, aka Laker Han. We've got an awesome show for you guys today because it is time to answer your Laker questions. It is a mailbag Q&A. Now, we've obviously seen some of the Lakers games since the regular season has resumed, and I know you guys have a lot of questions, so I asked you to send me some questions on Twitter, my Instagram, and of course here on this YouTube channel as well. You guys sent in such awesome questions, so let's just jump right into it and see what you want to know about our Los Angeles Lakers. So starting with our first question here today, we have from Waffle Man. Why are the Lakers struggling in the bubble? You know, real quick, I'm going to talk about some of the Lakers' struggles here, but real quick, I think we do have to remember that the Lakers and the entire NBA was on shutdown for 4 months. So that means 4 months of not playing basketball, not working out with your teams, not even really being able to have proper workouts and playing basketball. Some players weren't even able to shoot. I mean, this is a long chunk of time to be away from basketball, the longest time in probably all of these players' entire lives. And this is longer than most teams' off season. So we have to remember 4 months, a long time. Give these teams some leeway to kind of get their legs under them and get things moving and grooving again. But in terms of the Lakers, yes, they have been off to a really kind of slow, disappointing start in my opinion. They're 2-4 so far in the bubble, and that kind of goes for a few reasons. Mainly are these slow starts. We're seeing the Lakers really come out with not a lot of energy. They're getting behind really quick in game, then because obviously with Avery Bradley not there, I think missing Avery Bradley is honestly missing a much bigger piece to this puzzle than we maybe all assumed in the beginning. Now, when you look at the Lakers right now, I think we can all agree though their biggest struggle right now is on the offensive end. They are shooting extremely poorly, shooting the worst from all of the teams in the bubble so far, and that's obviously not acceptable, and that's not okay. So we're going to need some guys to knock down their shots. Danny Green in particular has to step up. You're making $15 million. Got to be able to knock down those threes. We need all of our guys to knock down our shots, and we also need our superstars Anthony Davis and LeBron James to both play at a very high level, because obviously we've seen so far in the bubble both of those guys have games where they played really well. Then we've also seen some games for those two superstars where they've struggled. AD recently has really been in a slump, so we need him and LeBron to both play really hard and have good games every night, because at the end of the day, the Lakers are only going to go so far as LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to take them. They are our superstars. We are relying on them. We are counting on them to have big performances. But still, I'm not quite freaking out yet. I'm getting a little bit nervous, not going to lie, but I'm going to give it some more time before I completely freak out about these Laker bubble troubles. But I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys concerned with this Lakers squad? If you are, type Y down below. If not, type N down below. Next question we have here is from @KyloHend. What should the Lakers do to prevent slow starts with their distant shooting percentages down? How should they adjust? So, you know, this is a really good question, and honestly, I don't know if I have a perfect answer for you. I thought, you know, maybe this means that we need to kind of shake up that starting lineup a little bit. Obviously, with Avery Bradley out, maybe we needed kind of another ball handler and another guy to kind of replace him more. So I thought maybe putting in Alex Caruso in that starting lineup, but again, in that most recent loss against the Pacers, Caruso was the guy in that starting lineup because Danny Green didn't play, and I didn't notice too much of a difference there. I will say, though, you know, there are some benefits and some downfalls with Caruso. Obviously, the benefits are the fact that I believe he brings so much energy, so much hustle to this team. He's maybe not the best one-on-one defender, but he really is those guys that makes those little plays that truly do make a difference. He brings so much energy. I would like to see him be a little bit more consistent with his shot and shoot the ball a little bit better, but still, another downfall with Caruso, though, again, is that maybe he's better kind of coming off the bench and providing that spark off the bench, because our bench has really been the biggest bright spot for us so far in the bubble. And again, he isn't maybe necessarily the best one-on-one defender. So let's just say in the first round of the playoffs, we have to play Portland. I don't know if he's necessarily capable of guarding Damian Lillard. He is a little bit of a bigger guard, so I don't know if that's a great matchup, if he'd be the best defender against those speedy guards. But right now, obviously, these slow starts are one of our biggest problems. So maybe switching that starting lineup, and also just kind of hoping that maybe our guys will get their feet under them, start knocking down some shots. And I think once we start knocking down some shots, like once Danny Green starts getting back to the Danny Green that we're accustomed to, and once KCP, gets it together and stuff, and I think once we have a little bit more time under our belt, we'll be a little bit better. I know right now a lot is riding on this, and we're getting nervous because we have been struggling. At the end of the day, I don't necessarily have a perfect answer for you. I just think obviously we're gonna have to come out with a lot more energy and stop getting behind early in these ball games. All right, Laker fam, we still have to get to some more of your questions, but before we do so, I want to let you in on an awesome chance to win a Laker jersey for 20% off. So we have some great jerseys here with our sponsors, Fanatics, and they want to make sure that you are able to get your Anthony Davis jersey, LeBron James jersey, you name it, they have it, and they are all going for 20% off. So if you would like to get yourself a jersey, go ahead and go to chatsports.com/LakersJersey. You guys, 20% off. We are selling jerseys here for just $55.99. So definitely make sure you go ahead to that website. Again, it's just chatsports.com/LakerJerseys and take advantage of this awesome opportunity to rock your favorite Laker player jersey. But let's get into some more of your questions and see what you guys are asking. This next question we have here is from @Laguini Mansa. I'm really sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. But he says, "Hey Hannah, I hope you're doing good." I am. I hope you are too. Do you think that Vogel is going to play AD more at the 5 during the playoffs? Do you think it could benefit the team? Okay, so this is actually interesting. I believe that we are our best basketball when Anthony Davis is at that 5. And we have kind of that depth lineup that maybe features AD, LeBron, maybe we have Danny Green or KCP in there, Alex Caruso, possibly maybe even Kuz or Dion, kind of switching the guard positions just based on who's playing the best. But definitely with AD at that 5, I really do believe that is when the Lakers play their best basketball. Now, we've obviously heard both head coach Frank Vogel say and Anthony Davis say that it's not an ideal situation for AD to be playing that center position a lot, because obviously they want to keep him healthy. But we have seen him actually be using that lineup a little bit more recently. And obviously JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard I've been pretty disappointed in. Especially, JaVale. Dwight Howard did have a really good game against the Pacers, but still, see if he can back it up. So far, I've been really disappointed in the Laker big. So I definitely think that once we get into the playoffs, we are going to see Anthony Davis at the 5. And I do think it is definitely a very good benefit for this Lakers team. But I'm curious, do you guys like seeing Anthony Davis at that 5 spot? Or do you think, no, have him be that power forward, Hannah. Let him stay healthy and keep JaVale or Dwight Howard in. Let me know down in the comments below if you like seeing Anthony Davis at that 5, and if you think the Lakers are going to use it more as we get into the playoffs. @Jermaine_MacGyver wants to know, how do you see the Lakers winning a championship? Defense, second unit, AD, and LeBron. Okay, well, obviously all of those things. We're going to need to start making some shots. We're going to need to buckle down on our defense. But I really, truly believe that at the end of the day, the Lakers are going to go so far as Anthony Davis and LeBron James take them. In particular, I really think Anthony Davis. I have faith that LeBron's obviously, once we get into the playoffs, LeBron's going to go crazy. He's going to impact the game, in a million trillion ways. So I really think it's up for Anthony Davis to really be the guy who steps up and really kind of bona fides himself as a bona fide superstar. And I think he will, but obviously so far he has struggled a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, obviously, offense, we've got to knock down some shots. We've got to learn how to play with some of these new players that we're still integrating into the system. We're going to have to figure some things out defensively without Avery Bradley. Obviously, really buckle down on defense there. But Anthony Davis and LeBron James really are our 2 players that we are riding on to win us that championship. Laker fam, I said it in the beginning of this video, but I will say it again. Thank you so much for 15,000 subscribers. please, if you are watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below so that you do not miss a single second when it comes to our Los Angeles Lakers, because there is a million things that we can be talking about here, and I want to make sure that you guys do not miss a single second of everything going down in the bubble for our purple and gold. But next question we have here is from Mr. Tornado 3700. Will Lakers make it to the finals, and will THT and Cook get more minutes? Yes, I am still hopeful that the Lakers will make it to the finals. I know they're struggling, but I think we just have to give them some more time. They're going to get things, underway. They're going to get their legs under them. We even saw after the game in Indiana that LeBron and a few of the other guys were back in the gym directly after that game, practicing, getting shots up. So I have faith in this squad. I'm still not freaking out yet. I definitely do still think that we can make it to the finals. Now, in terms of THT and Quinn Cook, that's a good question. I was really impressed by what I saw from THT. Obviously, he didn't really get any minutes this season, and he's a rookie, but from the the minutes that I've seen from him in the bubble, I really like what I've seen. He plays with confidence. He's not afraid to take some shots, and I think he can play. So will he and Quinn Cook get more minutes in the playoffs? I'm not necessarily sure. I wouldn't think THT is going to get a ton of minutes in the playoffs, again, just because once we do get into the playoffs, the rotations are much smaller. We're playing, maybe 10 guys, 8-10 guys at a time, and I don't think he's going to make that cut. Now, in terms of Quinn Cook, if Quinn Cook plays more games like how he played against the Indiana Pacers, then he very well may be able to get some more minutes, especially with Rajon Rondo still out with that hand injury. But again, I think it's going to really depend on how consistent he can be and how consistent he can knock down that shot. So we're just going to kind of have to wait and see here, but you never know. All right, and then rounding out today's mailbag Q&A, we have a question asking, who should the Lakers put on Dame or Ja in the playoffs? Okay, so obviously right now, the two teams that the Lakers are most likely going to be playing in that first round are the Memphis Grizzlies or the Portland Trail Blazers. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather it be the Memphis Grizzlies than the Portland Trail Blazers, because honestly, playing Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum does not seem like something I really want to do. So I would much rather it be the Memphis Grizzlies. But again, could be Portland. And if that is the case, in terms of who's going to guard Dame and who's going to guard Ja Morant if we play the Memphis Grizzlies, I think it's going to be, obviously a collective effort, but I think it's most likely going to be KCP, maybe even Alex Caruso. Again, I don't know if that's the best pick in terms of Alex Caruso, just because he's not necessarily the best one-on-one defender. I know a lot of you may be thinking Danny Green, but I don't know if he's going to be guarding that point guard spot. He's a little bit bigger. I don't know if he's quick enough to guard those two guys. So I think it's going to mainly have to be a collective effort. And this is where we really, really miss Avery Bradley, because obviously this would be his job and he would be the perfect player to do so. Those are two really talented, really great point guards. And I'm curious, who do you guys think is the better point guard? Do you think it's Damian Lillard, or do you think it's Ja Morant? I know it's a tough question, but let me know down in the comments below. All I know is, like I said earlier, I would much rather have the Lakers play the Memphis Grizzlies in that first round than the Portland Trail Blazers, because I think that's going to be a challenge for us. But it will be an exciting matchup, although once we get into the playoffs, I think everything's just going to be so excited. On the whole here, I'm just really excited that Laker basketball is back, and I know that you guys all are who are watching as well. That is going to be it for today's mailbag Q&A. Thank you guys so much for sending in such awesome questions as always. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a double thumbs up. I also want to remind you guys on our Fanatics sponsorship and our Fanatics deal that we are having right now on our Laker jerseys. Again, just go to chatsports.com/Laker jerseys to get yourself 20% off a Laker jersey. Definitely make sure to take advantage of that. Don't forget to subscribe here on Lakers Report if you have not yet done so. And until next time, Laker Hand is out. Bye, guys.